Hey everybody, welcome to my first look video of the Ark Royal. Everyone's been looking for this ship for a long time. I know I have been, and now we have it, so let's check it out. First we'll set up the commander, and the commander is Dennis Boyd, and the way I have him set up is a double health inspiration here with adding more HP per ship tier and adding maximum HP of William Sims and Henry J. Hyde. And his base trait is air detectability, helps out the air detectability of your aircraft carrier. And then contact is eminent, torpedo damage is increased, dive bomber detectability and HP bomber health is increased, and then chances of the aircraft carrier HE bombs causing a fire is increased, as well as its HE damage. And then I've selected the vault for the legendary skill, and the bomber's HP is improved by 2%, as well as the torpedo bomber's HP, and the special effect is incoming damage to your aircraft carrier, which is reduced by 20% when you're within the range of an allied ship. And since I have met legendary rank 2, that radius is 2 kilometers. If I were to go up to legendary rank 4, that would go up to 3.5 kilometers. Alright, so let's take a look at the upgrades for the Ark Royal. And first one is secondary battery, mod 1, or flight control. I want to help out the aircraft restoration time, so I'm going to do flight control. You always want to do that. And so here, secondary battery firing. See, I'm not even going to look at the secondary battery firing range. I'm going to go with the health of the aircraft here. So air groups mod 2. And alright, so let's check out the loadout. And each squadron, whether it's the HE bombers or the torpedoes, have 2 consumables for engine cooling, and the patrol fighters, and each engine cooling consumable runs for 5 seconds, reloads every 80 seconds, and there's 2 of those consumables. Patrol fighters will patrol the area and automatically attack enemy aircraft. The duration is 60 seconds. They reload every 10 seconds, so you can get a lot of them out there if you want. And you have 3 of those consumables per squadron. And then the auto consumables for the aircraft carrier, these fire automatically. You don't have to activate them. Damage control party, which runs every 60 seconds, reloads every 90 seconds, and it's unlimited. And the fighter consumable, which will automatically follow the ship and attack enemy aircraft. It will activate whenever your aircraft carrier is spotted by an enemy. Duration is 10 minutes if my math is correct. Reloads every 40 seconds, and you have 4 consumables. So I guess you can get a lot of aircraft out there at one time, actually. I never really thought about that, but I guess that's what you can do. And here I don't have any boosters selected, but hey, here you go. The ship does come with a Type 9 Premium Permanent Camouflage, and let's check that out. And yeah, so this camo does look pretty cool. The problem with the other British aircraft carriers is the camo would even cover the flight deck, and that looked kind of wanky, and I don't know if that was ever addressed. It seemed like a design feature to me. And okay, so the Ark Royal definitely looks very cool. Alright, so let's check out the stats. Survivability hit points is 48,900. Armor is 10 to 114 millimeters, so it's not all that great. So kind of like a destroyer, do not get hit. Torpedo damage reduction is not really there at 25%. And the aircraft, so it has Fairey Swordfish. Hit points, I believe this is for the squadron, is 2100. Maximum speed is 163 knots. Attack unit size is 3. Whoa, 9 aircraft per squadron, so you can lose quite a bit of aircraft if you don't do any pre-dropping. And as of late, I have not been doing any pre-dropping, so this will be very interesting. Detectability range is 9 kilometers. Aircraft restore every 57 seconds. Maximum torpedo damage is 55-65. That's kind of down there. Torpedo speed is pretty slow at 39 knots, so you want to make your adjustments for that. And the range is a whopping 3 kilometers. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Okay, but it is what it is. The dive bombers hit points is 2340, I believe that is for the squadron. Maximum speed again is 163. Same attack unit size and squadron size. Detectability range is a little better at 8.4 kilometers. Restoration time again is 57 seconds. Maximum bomb damage is 3863. And fire setting chances is 31%. All right, the artillery, yeah, this is why I didn't invest in the secondaries there on the upgrades. AA defenses, this looks like a lot of guns. You might be able to do something here with the AA, especially with all the patrol fighters that you have that we saw in the loadout screen. Maneuverability, this is all controlled by the autopilot, so you have to keep that in mind. Maximum speed is 31 knots. Turning circle radius is 990 meters. Rudder shift time is 12.8 seconds. And you do take manual control of the aircraft carrier if, like, the autopilot isn't cutting it and you want to do some evasive maneuvers because a torpedo got in your way and you want to make a hard left or hard right or something else. So, but in general, this is the autopilot that is going to take care of this for you. And then the concealment, detectability range by sea is 12.5 kilometers. Range by air is 8.3 kilometers, and we got nothing if you're in the smoke. So don't think you're getting an advantage in the smoke here. All right, and then the armor, yeah, this looks fantastic. Whatever you do not get hit, but we'll go ahead and take a look at the Citadel. And it is a step Citadel, but still, yeah, do not get hit. There's nothing good going on here as far as I could tell. Overview, carpet bombing. Dive bombers can drop a huge number of bombs at once, and that is awesome. That is one thing I do like about the British aircraft carriers. Onboard factory, high aircraft restoration speed, and that is awesome. Feeble aircraft with a below average HP pool, so that will be fantastic. And I believe that is what you got there with that Fairey Swordfish. So then the Ark Royal is the first British aircraft carrier of a new generation. She's equipped with a continuous flight deck and modern equipment for aircraft taking off and landing, as well as being armed with the most advanced dual-purpose artillery available in the Royal Navy during the late 1930s. Entered service in 1938, and there was one ship in the series. All right, well, that's it for the setup of the ship and the commander. Let's go out and take a first look with the Ark Royal. All right, so here we are. We are in shards with the Ark Royal. It's a bit of a truncated match with only 7 ships per side. There's only 1 destroyer per side, so in some ways that's pretty good. And a couple cruisers, 3 cruisers, 2 battleships, and obviously another aircraft carrier. So we're going to take off and just fly out here and see if we can start spotting the red team ships. And yeah, the Ark Royal is probably most famous for its hunt for the Bismarck in May of 1941, where a single torpedo hit from a Fairey Swordfish jammed the rudder and caused the impending doom of the Bismarck. It was not able to survive that encounter. Ironically, just a few months later, in November of 1941, the Ark Royal itself was sunk in a later engagement by a single torpedo. So the armor view that we saw and the stats for the torpedo protection is pretty accurate in the game here. At only 25%, I said it was basically non-existent, and a single torpedo, it turns out, essentially took out the Ark Royal in that engagement. It produced a massive hole. I will leave a link to the Wikipedia article about the Ark Royal down below, so check that out if you're interested in the history. It was kind of interesting for me to review the history of the Ark Royal and kind of refresh my memory of what the ship was all about. That was a big time miss right there. And what I like about the torpedo bombers on the Ark Royal is you can get real close like this, and they really seem to arm regardless of how close you are. So we did get a hit there. I didn't aim far enough ahead, and we're going to hope to adjust that later on. But we did cause a flood, which is going. So one torpedo hit and a flood. And we're up to 6,000 damage. Without that flood, we wouldn't have caused that much damage. But now I switched over to the dive bombers because I'm not really doing any pre-dropping anymore. So I'm looking to toggle between the two aircraft types and hope to preserve the aircraft on the deck that way. 57-second restoration time is pretty good. So we're going to see if we can make that work here without pre-dropping. So here with the carpet bombing, don't have a problem going against the cruiser here, and we should have aimed a little bit more forward, but we did get a couple hits and 3 defendeds on the 2 hits. So we are going to come back around and take another shot at that cruiser because he is kind of low on health and he is getting pretty close to the aircraft carrier here. So we're going to come and take care of that guy, hopefully. And like I said, with the carpet bombs there, I aimed a little bit more forward, and I think this will be a better hit. And there, 7 hits and 2 fires. So there you go. You want to adjust your aim to be a little bit forward like that, kind of similar to what you would have to do to try to get a destroyer. And there is our first hit. That guy burned down big time, and we are up to 24,000 damage on 9 bomb hits and only a single torpedo hit at this point. So here I am moving the aircraft carrier because it looked like the red team was getting a little close to A. So I don't really want to stay right there. So now I'm going to relocate behind the island. I changed my mind, and it looked like the island was a much safer place to snuggle into, as it were. So now I'm taking off with the bombs again, and we're going to go up here, and that battleship looks like a pretty good target right there. In there, our friendly battleship is gone, and we are down significantly in the game, as it turns out, with only just a few minutes gone. So this is I guess typical, what a lot of people are complaining about these days, but here, there, I figured I would let those bombs go or lose the drop, and that was a bad aim all around. I did not have things going right there. So now it's only 2 ships on the blue team and 5 ships on the red team. So we are certainly doomed here. We have no chance of having a good score, it seems like, at this point anyway. So we are really up against the wall here big time. So we're going to try to make a game of it nonetheless. It's just the Ark Royal and another battleship. And so we're going to try to hit that battleship there and cause some more floods. There I'm aiming far enough ahead where I'm hoping that I will get at least a couple hits right there. So now we're going to swing around and take a look, and we did get 2 hits. We aimed a little bit too far in front. We are up to 34,000 damage. No more floodings though. So there, my blue team Oklahoma did really knock down the Bertagni, but he did get taken out. And now it is 1 against 5. So this is looking really bad, but that looks like 3 torpedo hits right there. So I think we're going to take this guy out. And yeah, he is gone. We're up to 39,000 damage, and it is just the Ark Royal against 4 red team ships. But they are up on bases, so this is definitely not looking good for winning the match. You almost have to take out the rest of the ships, which is highly improbable to get 6 out of 7 ships here. And here's a fully healthy battleship. This is not great. We're going to close in a little bit, and at around 4 kilometers or so is when we're going to start our torpedo run. And there I did hit the patrol fighters to try to help out with some of the anti-aircraft. Hopefully they'll go after the patrol fighters instead of my torpedo bombers. And it looks like the torpedoes did not arm there, so that was a completely wasted shot. We're going to come around again and try to get this guy with three torpedoes, not more torpedoes, but 3 torpedoes. And these actually look pretty good. They might all hit, actually. And those were 3 hits and a flooding. And he damage conned immediately. But we have 8 torpedo hits and 9 bomb hits at the moment. So only 2 fires. We are starting to shoot down the red team aircraft from the red team Ark Royal.
Autopilot mode enabled.
And it looked like a red team player there had 4 kills already, so he's probably looking to get a Kraken. Let's come over here and see what we do on the battleship. I think this was the guy who damage conned, and there's 3 fires, so that is going to be some big time damage racking up right there. On 3 fires, you can see how close he is to the Ark Royal. 5 minutes left in the match. And those fires are really doing a number on that guy. So here we're going to try to get some more fires on him, some more hits. And we get 6 more bomb hits. We're up to 82,000 damage, just like that. And it looks like this guy is not going to be around very much longer, but he is starting to hit the ship. So the Ark Royal isn't going to be around very much longer unless I can get another hit here. It looks like this guy is going to be gone, and he is 95,999 damage. He gets me. The battle's ended. Overall, believe it or not, I did have fun, even though my team basically got obliterated there. But I do think that this match does kind of show some of the qualities of the Ark Royal. You can get really close torpedo hits, and the torpedoes seem to arm fairly close to the ships. And you'll definitely get some massive bomb damage here. So we did get a defeat. 371,000 credits we racked up. 95,999 battle performance damage on 8 torpedo hits. 30 main bomb hits. 9 shot down aircraft. 3 destroyed ships. 6 fires. 3 floodings. We got an arsonist medal and a high caliber medal. And we did get some XP there because we were running some boosters. So let's see how we did on the team result. All right, well, first place on the blue team with 3 destroyed ships. I'm not sure what else happened to the rest of these guys there, but I guess they had a good game anyway. And yeah, so a winning team over here. They got all the medals and all the XP. So there you go. Let's check out the economy tab. And we did clear 342,000 credits by the time it was all said and done. All right, well, that's it for the Ark Royal overall. Fun ship for me to play. I really enjoyed it. You do get a lot of bomb hits there with the carpet bombing, and the torpedoes do arm pretty close to the red team ships. So even though they only have a 3-kilometer range and they are fairly slow, you can get pretty close and they will arm. So that is great on that part. And hopefully, if nothing else, you got to see a little bit about the ship. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it.
Torpedoes to starboard. Torpedoes to starboard.
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.